Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video. I've been feeling a little rough the last few days, so this one's going to be a little shorter than usual, but I really want to put something cool out each week, so we are doing this. I realized I'd shown Galarian Moltres and Zapdos in previous videos, so why not round out the trio with Galarian Articuno? It's got great special attack and the competitive ability, so I figure its best partners would be physical attackers that it can protect from Intimidate, and we want type synergy, of course. And so old school Sand just feels like it fits the bill really perfectly. Articuno's typing protects T-Tar and Excadrill from both fighting and ground, and both of them protect Articuno from rock, and then Excadrill, with its ground typing, protects Articuno from electric. Let's go over the spreads a little bit since I have a little more time in the video, and I put some work into these. So first there's Articuno. This is just a simple Timid Life Orb set, but a cool thing to note is that if you subtract just enough speed to give it that magic last 9-digit for Life Orb recoil, it's still faster than max speed Landorus, which is one of the main mons it's here to counter. We've also got Shadow Ball as coverage since it stops us from being walled by steel types, and Max Phantasm helps out our largely physical team. But you can also consider using Ancient Power if you want to have another way to set Sand. After that, we've got T-Tar. Unlike your normal bulky sets, this is a super aggressive Adamant Dragon Dance set that hits an attack breakpoint at 124 EVs, and then goes with 252 speed EVs to hit 113. This makes it faster than Life Orb Lapras for a KO with +2 Rockfall, and it also beats base 100s with a +1 from either Dragon Dance or Articuno's Airstreams. We have Assurance, since there's 2 Sand Rushers on this team that'll usually strike before T-Tar, so you can get that damage boost in different ways than just the normal Bulldoze Lash Out combo that people used to do, and although Bulldoze plus Assurance still works. Dragon Dance has pretty solid synergy with Amoonguss redirection, but I will say I've missed having Protect a bit, so that's a solid option if you want to make your own riff on this concept. Excadrill is a super basic Adamant Swords Dance spread with a Focus Sash. Speed at 244 EVs lets us hit 139 speed, and that's enough to beat max speed Alecki when we have our Sandstorm boost. Attack is at 196 for a breakpoint since we're Adamant, and then all the rest goes into bulk. Like T-Tar, the setup can work really well with Amoonguss, and then we just switch in T-Tar for Sand for our speed control once we have our +2. Dracovish is actually a really cool Mystic Water set. Sandrush Vicious Rend still hits like a truck, of course, especially with Mystic Water, but then we also get the utility of Protect, which Choice Dracovish always misses, and Fast Substitute, which can be amazing in endgame scenarios. Bulldoze works to proc T-Tar's weakness policy. It'll, of course, be a fast Bulldoze with Sandrush, and then that also gives us speed control if we have Articuno or Rotom max next to it, especially if the Sand is up, of course. Rotom is just additional insurance against Sun teams. We do have the weather control with T-Tar, but often it's not enough. This is a slow, bulky set, but it does have 68 speed EVs, which gives us 115, and that's to handle those slower 114 Finny sets that are still fairly popular. Once again, we have Nasty Plot for setup, and that pairs well with Amoonguss. And the Goggles negating Sand Chip is more handy than you'd think sometimes. This does add a third water weakness, but we also have 2 resists, one of which is a quad resist, and the other main option would have been Zapdos, which would give us a third ice weakness, and right now I think offensive ice coverage is way more prevalent in the current meta than water. And then of course we round out the team with Amoonguss. Sash goes to Exca instead of Amoonguss because the Sand would just break our Sash anyway. Rage Powder enables our setup users, and Pollen Puff can be great to heal up our big threats. Plus, it's pretty much our only Trick Room answer since T-Tar is going fast. That's the team. Let's see a couple of games with it. Okay, for our first team, we have Sun. All right. So right off the bat, that makes me really want to bring Rotom Heat. Yeah, Goggles Rotom just handles everything here really well. As for what to bring on the side of it, though, that's a totally other question, right? Normally I'd like to bring Amoonguss for the redirection for Nasty Plot, but literally everything on here either ignores powder moves or can just murder Amoonguss flat out with some kind of coverage or their stab. So I actually like Articuno here, just because of the Incineroar lead. We might get lucky and get that Intimidate boost right off the bat. Yeah, that could definitely work. Now, as for the back, we definitely want T-Tar so we can reverse their weather. That seems like a no-brainer. And then Excadrill is weak to a lot of stuff on this team, basically like just way too much fire, so Dracovish actually seems great as a switch-in for all that fire damage since it has that quad resist. Yeah, so let's see how we match up against it. Okay, how do you lead now? Waygro, is that? Yeah, it's Incineroar. Alright, so we do get our, we're gonna get our competitive boost right off the bat, +2. That's gonna be amazing. So, they do want to set up Trick Room, though. That bit's pretty obvious. What I think I need to calc... Can we just kill P2 right off the bat with this +2 boost? Like, we have Life Orb, we have +2, and we have a nice base 125 special attack, so that could be great. Let me just take a look here and see. So the most common P2 spread actually dies to an Airstream. I don't know if it is that, but we can just nasty plot with Rotom. That way, you know, if they go for Articuno, we can have that greed, and then hopefully we just kill P2. Like, if we have a speed boost +2 on Rotom and a dead P2, that would be amazing. But we're taking a risk, because the most common P2 spread right now is somewhat offensive. It runs Modest and 76 special attack, and that's good for a lot of cases, but a lot of people just run very defensive P2s instead, so we're going to have to see how this plays out. They go for Fake Out on Rotom, so there's no nasty plot for us. That's rough, but Fake Out Trick Room's pretty normal. Fingers crossed for this Airstream killing now. Oh, okay, we just miss it. So yeah, so this must be a more defensive P2. That's not great. And now that they're gonna get their Trick Room up, almost certainly. Yeah, there's Trick Room. Okay, so with that, they're probably just gonna recover that damage right up. So we could attack it, but I don't really like the idea of giving them a free switch in. And they'll probably bring Torkoal with this Trick Room. We don't want to give them Incin and Torkoal and Sun under Trick Room. So I think we just have to get rid of the Incineroar right away. The P2 doesn't really threaten us, since Articuno has such solid base special attack, and Eerie Impulse will just reset us to neutral. So we can go for this nasty plot on Rotom, try to, you know, greed and stall out their Trick Room turns, and then we can just kill the Incin. P2 can spec specially defensive, that Incin already spec specially defensive, and it still won't be able to take this +2 Airstream. It's a little annoying that we're making ourselves even faster under Trick Room, but it is what it is. Try attack. So we could have gotten the kill, actually, and that Flare Blitz does a lot more than I wanted to. Wow. This is kind of why Articuno isn't used as much. Its physical defenses are really not great. We at least got our nasty plot up, though, so let's see. We should take out Incin with this attack. Yeah, that is a dead Incineroar. Great. So Articuno gets its first kill of the day. Let's see who they bring in now. They should still have, I think, 3 turns of Trick Room after this turn. Okay, it's Torkoal. So I think at this point we absolutely, like, we're at half HP, so even with our solid special defenses, I don't think we can take a full strength eruption in the sun. So we really should have done Thunderbolt from Rotom into P2 last turn, but it's too late now. We have to throw away our boost and switch in T-Tar just to make that eruption not do as much. And I think we just need to kill the Rotom right off the bat. We can do a Max Phantasm, though, show off this tech. We'll lower the physical defenses of the Porygon, and that should allow T-Tar to pick up a kill on it next turn. And we don't want to make our T-Tar any faster. Although, with its speed investment, it's actually not going to do so great in Trick Room. There's the Eruption, but in Sand, yeah, we take it. That's pretty good. And another Tri-Attack. Does this P2 just not have Recover? I'm thinking that they want the free switch in for some reason. But if they have Torkoal, I'd imagine Venusaur in the back, which I don't think you'd want your Venusaur. Dead Torkoal anyway, so we won't be taking any more Trick Room Eruptions. That bit is great, and we get the defense drop. So a Superpower from T-Tar should take out P2. And I think that if it is Venusaur, even with the Sand up, most Venusaurs run significantly more than 113 speed, so we should underspeed it, so outspeed it in Trick Room, and then be able to pick up the kill on P2. Articuno's very low, though, and I think it might actually be our win con against this Venusaur. Yeah, so actually Rock Slide, yeah, there's no need to Superpower. -1 Rock Slide will do some chip onto Venusaur, and I think we just need to swap Articuno out. Once the Trick Room's over, we'll still outspeed it, and and we'll be able to pick up a kill with the Freezing Glare. So let's swap in Dracovish. It can take an attack probably. It also just does nothing for us at this point. Its only real offense is Water type, and Venusaur doesn't care about that. So let's use it as fodder. Granted, they'll probably attack into T-Tar with Venusaur, but P2 still has some damage output to give, and P2 will probably outspeed us over Trick Room. So there's the big Venusaur. We are up 4-2, so we are kind of ahead, but we're going to have to outlast their D-Max here, so it is not over by a long shot. Ice Beam, yeah, into the Dracovish. So that was a good switch on Articuno. The crit isn't great. We would have taken that a lot better otherwise. Rock Slide double connects. That was a bit of a risk. We could have gone safer with just a superpower into P2, but we're probably going to need every bit of damage we can get on this D-Max Venusaur now. And Vine Lash isn't great either, purely because of Articuno having so little HP. They might be able to stall us out for a turn and just let it die to Vine Lash residual. But now we bring out Rotom. Check the speed, 113 speed, same as T-Tar. Probably shouldn't have a speed tie on this team now that I think about it, but anyway. Rotom should underspeed since we're in Trick Room, and it should get a nice overheat off. We need to do it now. There's only one more turn of Trick Room, otherwise they could just kill us with Sludge Bomb. So now is our only chance to get an overheat into it, and I think we just attack with Vicious Rend. Yeah. Sub is interesting here, but with the Vine Lash up, the residual would just kill us right through our sub, so it's not worth it in this case. Also, the fact that Trick Room's up means we're going second anyway. Alright, overheat, connects, that's great. Good chunk of damage. Okay, so it is within range of one attack. My problem is that it definitely... Yeah, so at this point, they have one more turn of D-Max. If we got them out of D-Max, I'd feel reasonably comfortable because most Venusaurs don't run Protect these days, but Sleep Powder turns into Max Guard. So I think at this point, our opponent probably wins, at least if they play it right. All they have to do is click Max Guard. Articuno will die to the Vine Lash damage, and then they'll outspeed Rotom to kill it with a Sludge Bomb on the next turn. But they might be Assault Vest. I don't think so based off of that overheat damage, but they might be, and they might just play wrong. So our only hope here is to just double in a little bit kills. It's a really easy choice. We just gotta do it. They don't, yes. Freezing Glare takes the kill. Alright, so we actually get a win on this one. Yeah, so in retrospect, I think the way we could have played this better is with the Thunderbolt onto the P2. That would have gotten us that kill earlier. I don't think the free switch-in really would have benefited them because we could just cancel out the Sun, and the Nasty Plot really wouldn't have helped us at all. So, on to the next game. Okay, our second game, fun. So we have Cole and Gigas. They could lead with either way, and both teams have pretty different counters, so that's, might not have too much fun with this one, especially the Wheezing, because when you look at our team, pretty much everything here depends on its ability in some way. Rotom to not die to ground attacks, all the Sand Rush, the competitive, all that. But the one thing we have going for us in this matchup actually is Articuno, just because we threaten that Wheezing with a Max Mindstorm. Most Weezings carry Shuka Berry since ground coverage is way more popular than Psychic, but in this case we do have that advantage. The problem is Hailstorm from Gigas. I should calc whether that kills, and the answer is no. Yeah, so we're taking this Articuno, and Amoonguss would be great next to it. We can pressure the Gigas with Spore, we can redirect with Hailstorm, and we can bait out a Taunt. As for the back, we need to deal with their Coal mode. They might even lead it, in which case I think just Classic Sand does the trick, right? Excadrill High Horsepower should just take out Coal, especially after proc. And then even if we have to switch in, and if our max is used up, I think the Focus Sash should let us live it. So these seem like our best 4. We are going to have to think about a mind game, though, because just like if they lead Weezing Gigas, it's kind of a 50-50. 50-50 is probably oversimplifying it, honestly, because on Amoonguss, we can Rage Powder to redirect away from Articuno, we can Spore the Gigas, and we can Protect in case they try to attack it, right? And at the same time, they can Taunt with Weezing, and they can Protect with Weezing, and both of those are vastly different because we could potentially kill the Weezing. Because we live the hit, I think it's very safe for us to not go for the Rage Powder turn 1, and we can just go Mindstorm directly into Weezing. The question becomes what to do with Amoonguss. Like I said, we don't want to Rage Powder. That doesn't seem like it actually gains us anything. It just really means we'll have a dead Amoonguss no matter what, with nothing to really show for it. So yeah, we Mindstorm the Weezing for sure, and then yeah, screw it. Let's just Spore the Gigas. That absolute worst case scenario, we'll get something out of it hopefully. No, wait, no. Protect was definitely the move. So yeah, so think about this. They can't kill Articuno, so if they Hailstorm Articuno, no matter what, then we're fine. But they can protect Weezing, and that does ruin us. If they protect Weezing and Hailstorm Amoonguss, we're going to lose this game. If they don't protect Weezing, we will. But if we had protected Amoonguss, we account for them doing that move, right? And then even if we miscall the protect, and they Hailstorm into Articuno, we'll take 60-70%-ish, maybe more according to the calc, actually. But after that, we can just Rage Powder with the Amoonguss, and the Weezing will already be protected. So if they don't get the double protect, we'll just kill the Weezing that turn, and then Gigas is useless. But they don't protect. Okay, so here's the Hailstorm. Who's it into? It's into Amoonguss. Okay, that's kind of a risky play, honestly, because we could have been Sash Amoonguss. They were probably making the educated guess that is Sand. I don't think that crit mattered. But anyway, that means Weezing didn't protect, so we lost our Amoonguss. Protect would have been really nice if we'd done it. But we're gonna kill Weezing and make that Gigas dead weight. Sash Weezing? No, that's a dead weight. Great, awesome. And we set that terrain, which is pretty nice because if they have Urshifu, which, you know, Urshifu is pretty common in the back, they won't be able to use their priority moves. There's that slow start. Okay, so what are they going to bring out? I think we bring out our T-Tar to set up Sand for Excadrill, and then we also have Superpower. Excadrill does not have fighting coverage, whereas T-Tar does, so we can start putting defense drops onto things and using our fighting coverage on T-Tar to just take out that Gigas whenever we want. We don't necessarily want to, though. Okay, Cole, interesting. Yeah, because Gigas is dead weight, we kind of want to let it sit on the field for a little longer, but not too long, or the slow start will expire and it'll become a threat again. It's a delicate balance for timing that. Okay, so actually, Gigas is a non-factor, but Cole being here means it's definitely Urshifu in the back. I don't think we want to give them the opportunity to set up, and we also want to be faster than that Urshifu. Everything on our team, besides Excadrill and Sand, is slower, so they could max strike, but I don't think it matters. I think an Airstream plus Superpower double up would work. Yeah, not fantastic. Whoops, I messed up. Yeah, Airstream plus Superpower should kill Cole. And assuming they don't go for the strike, we should be faster than them. Faster than their Urshifu on the following turn. So here comes the Airstream. It's not a lot of damage. Cole doesn't have great special defenses, but you know, it is resisted. Very much hoping Superpower from T-Tar is enough to pick this up then. We are adamant. There it goes. Not enough. Okay. Not ideal. We do proc their weakness policy though, which means that their Cole mode is dead now. We just have to deal with that Urshifu basically. Quake. So they are slow start, but we took a defense drop from Superpower. Do we take it? Barely. And we're +1 speed. This is amazing. So we're +1 speed, we have our weakness policy proc, and their cold mode is dead in the water. So we just have to hope we live whatever cold does from us. Does into us now. I think we might take a heat wave even if it's low health, but Meteor Beam. You're not power, or I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe it's a last-ditch attempt to kill Articuno, which I guess kind of makes sense. It's they've got to take out that Articuno, but that Cole is dying this turn for sure. My opponent maybe could have taken it better, but this is a no-brainer. Now we Phantasm the Cole and we Superpower the Gigas. We're only at +1 because the Superpower dropped our attack last turn, but the defense drop will make it effectively +2. Dead Cole, Superpower incoming. We will see if that manages to kill off this Gigas. Power, yeah. Not quite enough. Okay, so it's within range of sand. That's good at least, but I think Gigas is going to go ahead and take us out here. Quake. Okay, so that's a dead T-Tar, but it did its job. And so now we've got Articuno and Excadrill under sand against whatever their fourth is, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be Urshifu if they decided to bring Cole. Yes, it could be Dragon Board, but it's good of an endgame option. Alright, yeah, there's the Urshifu, we called it. So I'm really hoping my opponent doesn't forfeit here, because I would love to see that that really cool freezing glare animation. And on Excadrill, high horsepower is 95%. I don't think it matters, honestly. The freezing glare and the sand together should take it out. They could Aqua Jet us, could an Aqua Jet crit kill. I guess we just go for the high damage one. That's fine. Horsepower hits, whatever. And we get to see that freezing glare. Very nice. Good game to my opponent. Like I said, we definitely should have protected Amogus on turn 1. So if you end up fighting Gigas freezing teams with that, protect Mindstorm is always the play. Yeah, good game. I hope you all enjoyed the video. As always, the rental is in the beginning of the video and in the description. This one will be replacing the Regidrago Hyper Offense team since it had the least engagement, so remember to pick these rentals up quickly if you're interested in them. Next week is the Players' Cup, so I'll probably just record with the team I end up using for that, so stay tuned. Bye.